If you can hear that knock clearly without any assistance, you are fortunate. But for millions of people worldwide, that simple sound is either distorted or completely absent. This is Praktish. Today I'll be talking about hearing aid, not just as assistive gadget, but as advanced biomedical device that combine physiology, signal processing, and artificial intelligence to restore one of the most essential human senses. This is for the class Introduction to Biomedical Engineering. Hearing is fundamental to communication, learning, and social interaction. Unlike vision, hearing loss often progresses silently, and many people adapt without realizing how much information they are missing. From a biomedical engineering perspective, hearing aids are fascinating because they sit at the intersection of human physiology, electronics, and clinical validation. They're not just consumer electronics, they are regulated medical devices designated to compensate for biological limitation. Thus, we will explore this topic as specified in this outline. The human ear itself is a remarkable biological system. The outer ear collects sound, the middle ear amplifies vibration, the inner ear, particularly the cochlea, converts mechanical vibration into neural signals. When this system works well, we can detect sound across a wide dynamic range, roughly 0 to 100 decibels. A problem arises when some of these parts fail to move or degrade or damaged. There are three main types of hearing loss: sensory neural hair loss, conductive loss, and mixed loss. So, sensory neural loss is a damage to the inner ear or auditory nerve. This is the most common and usually permanent. Conductive hearing loss is the blockage or damage to the outer or the middle ear. Mixed hearing loss is a combination of both blockage to the outer or the middle ear and also damage to the inner ear. So, hearing aids are most commonly used for sensory neural hearing loss, where amplification and signal processing are needed to compensate for the damage of sensory cell. However, the treatment for the outer ear conductive hearing loss are mostly managed through surgery or some other interventions. Why do we need it? Hearing impairment significantly affects quality of life. It limits our communication, increases listening fatigue, and is linked to social isolation and cognitive decline, especially in older adults. From a clinical perspective, modern hearing aids aim to provide a measurable improvement in speech recognition, verified amplification accuracy using real ear measurement, comfortable all-day wearability. This is where biomedical engineering directly improves patients' outcome. So, a neat statement can be put together like hearing impairment reduces communication and quality of life, especially in elderly and noise or drug exposed individuals, driving the need for modern hearing aids that deliver greater than or equal to 30% speech recognition improvements and REM verified amplification accuracy for patients and clinicians. So, a quick look on market size. The global hearing aid market is rapidly growing due to the aging population, increased noise exposure, and better awareness. However, the growth is driven not just by demand, but by technological innovation, especially digital signal processing and artificial intelligence, such as AI and deep learning. So it's you can see that market spread across various countries and continents. Before jumping into detail, let's briefly go over the hearing aids evolvement from the 1600s ear trumpet to the today's intelligent digital system. Each technological leap from vacuum tube, transistor, microprocessor, and AI made the hearing aids much smaller, smarter, and more effective. Hearing aids have significantly evolved And the first hearing aids, notably, is just if you cup your hand and you place it behind your ear, it will become a hearing aid. The earlier device, such as the 17th century passive ear trumpets, in the late 19th century, you can see battery-powered device using carbon microphone and vacuum tubes. And in 1950s, you can start seeing transistor technology enabled miniaturization. So transistor technology at the time required high power volt power sources because they use vacuum tubes, and one of them will require uh, to heat up the vacuum tube filament, and another one will power the amplifier. So low volt heats the filament and high volt power the amplifier. And in late 20th century, you can start seeing digital hearing aids with programmable signal processing. Interestingly, we can see earlier advances were strongly influenced by military electronics, particularly vacuum tube amplification. But modern hearing aids now operate at extremely low power while performing complex real-time computations. There are several common hearing aid styles. One of them is behind the ear BTE, robust and powerful. The receiver in the canal type, comfortable with natural sound quality in the ear, custom molded and easy to handle. And another type is CIC, completely in canal, discrete for mild to moderate loss. Another interesting part is cross and bicross, designed for single-sided deafness. The choice depends upon hearing loss severity, comfort, and dexterity, and lifestyle. There are five key components of a hearing aid, which are core, that are microphone that converts sound into an electrical signal, amplifier, or another DSP, a digital signal processing unit, which processes and adjusts the sound. A receiver converts signal back to sound. Battery powers the device, and also there is optional module for Bluetooth, telecoil, tinnitus masking, and volume control. The working principle is simple in concept, but it's a bit complex in execution. So generally, sound enters through the microphone, right? Let us look at it here. So microphone captures the sound. The signal is digitally processed, okay, and the receiver delivers amplified sound to the ear. The challenge is not just making sound louder, but making speech clearer without discomfort. So in a normal hearing aid, we have a wide dynamic range from 0 decibel to high 100 decibel. It's a dynamic range of 100 decibel. So, but in normal hearing, we have wide dynamic range, but in sensory neural hearing loss, this range becomes compressed. So, soft sounds are inaudible, but loud sounds are still uncomfortable. So, we need a specific type of processing. We just don't want to amplify the signal and give it to the patient, so that will become uncomfortable because this factor still exists, like loudness are still uncomfortable. So this is why hearing aid uses dynamic range compression. They amplify soft sounds significantly while limiting the amplification of loud sounds. This principle is critical and is supported by clinical frameworks such as TED Weinmann's compression models shown here. So hearing aids are not one size fits all. So audiologist program device based on audiogram. So it involves a real ear measurement. There is an example shown here that measures that hearing aids deliver the correct sound level inside the ear canal by monitoring the eardrum. So the counseling and follow-up ensures adaptation and comfort. Without verification, even advanced hearing aids can fail clinically for the patient. To explain how modern hearing aid uses intelligence, Let's first define AI and deep learning simply. The artificial intelligence refers to a system that learns from data and make decisions automatically. Within AI, there is a branch called machine learning, a subset where models learn from examples, such as a data-driven approach like stats. And deep learning is another branch which uses neural network, mimics our brain with many layers, such as this shown here, to recognize complex patterns such as differentiating speech from noise. So if you give a noisy input, it'll give a clarity or clear output. So in hearing aids, deep learning model continuously analyze incoming sound, classify listening environment, and adjust amplification and signal processing in real time. This lets the device automatically optimize for quiet room, background noises, and music or speech without the user having to switch. So here we will look at a commercial hearing aid with AI assisted system. So two examples are shown here, which is commercially currently available for card. Audio Luminity is one device, and Auticon Real, which uses deep learning model. And this also Pocnard also uses a deep learning model, and both of them aim to improve the quality of um, speech that is being recognized, and how a noise is being filtered out to introduce the quality. And some device also uh, aim to reduce listening fatigue with enhanced speech clarity and noise. To connect theory with real products, we'll briefly explain Pocnard Audio Luminity. In It is a receiver in canal hearing aid powered by AutoSense operating system 5.0, an AI-driven platform. The key features include automatic sound scene classification, sampling the environment about 700 times per second, a real-time blend of over 200 listening programs, approximately 20% improvement in speech understanding and noise, directional microphones that focus on direction of speech, means it eliminates background noises, motion sensors that adapts settings while walking or moving, universal Bluetooth connectivity, and all-day rechargeable use. This shows how AI is now embedded directly into medical devices, which are portable and comfortable. Which also This is also available as a rechargeable RIC and high power BT type hearing aid. So hearing aids are class 2 medical devices. They require essentially a regulatory approval, uh, audiogram based fitting, and clinical verification using REM, real air measurement. So this distinguishes them clearly from consumer audio products. A properly fitted hearing aids leads to improved speech recognition, better communication, higher user satisfaction. However, they do not restore natural hearing. Performance decreases with distance, background noise, and improper maintenance. This highlights the importance of realistic expectations. To conclude, hearing aids have evolved from simple acoustic tools to intelligent biomedical systems. They rely on physiology, signal processing, and clinical validation. Modern devices integrated AI to adapt to real-world listening environments. While they cannot fully restore our hearing, they significantly improve the quality of life. So, where we think about innovation in ear-worn technology, whether hearing aids or even microphones, it's worth remembering that hearing aid research laid much of the groundwork. And perhaps most importantly, we should be thankful for the technology that helps people reconnect with sound, because without hearing aid innovation, many of the audio technologies we use today would not exist. As always, thank you and have a nice day.